lies crawl to a table. Paralyzed by pairwise dice, then attend to this heaven slice of an angel wrapped in skin. Throw dice and woes of life, love deprived, looking to revive. What's the meaning of life? One subjective paradise, crystal chandeliers, millions reflected. Often mirrors appear clear, grinning from ear to ear. Craving and raving and grain, rekindle the flame. Closer she draws near, stay there. Remove your underwear, shove it somewhere over there. In paradise, in paradise. We know our purpose, survive. What's the meaning of life? Paradise, in paradise. We know what our worth is. In paradise, in paradise. We manifest dreams. In paradise. Truth is what you conceive.
Boom. Yes, it is. The truth is what you can see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Unpopular Hour. I'm your host, Matt Clark. Sorry it took me so long to get on, but my golf game was better than my game when it comes to my show today. I mean, my camera wasn't working, and it's been doing that. I need to take my computer in to get it fixed. And, of course, oh, my God, Nathan Taylor is joining us today from YNB. What's up, homie?
Hey, look,
Not
much, man. Let's just face it. You don't have game. You don't have no game. That's the thing.
No, my game was fine. My golf game was fine. It's my game when it comes to doing this computer stuff.
I'm not talking about your golf game. Huh? I'm not talking about your golf game.
Bro, I missed you since you had to come on talking trash.
Yeah, I apologize that I haven't been on. I've been crazy busy, but I'm also really busy today. I'm only going to be on for like 10, 15 minutes, but I wanted to call in because I wanted to comment on a few things.
Okay, well, go ahead, get it out. Get it since you're going to be on and off. Go ahead, get it out your way.
Let me just go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and start with Dagnall.
Okay.
I'll admit when I'm wrong, and I thought he did a wonderful job of coaching yesterday.
100%. Gave him his flowers.
So I'll give him his props on tomorrow. You know, I still don't think he's or yesterday. I don't think he's a great coach, but
There shouldn't have been a yesterday.
We got to do this.
The only reason why it was a yesterday is because he screwed up game one.
Game one.
Game three,
Should have won game three.
Game three is on SGA. I'm putting that on him, bro.
Yeah. Okay.
You got to close the door. You got to close the door.
So, yeah. So I'll give Dagnall his props. He did a really good job of coaching yesterday, and I still don't think I'm wrong or you're wrong overall, but that was a good showing yesterday.
Agreed.
Secondly, Anthony Edwards.
Did you read that thing from him coming on my show last night?
I did. If he truly was on your show, man, you need to give him my cell phone number. Not that he cares at all about me, but give him my cell phone number. I'll go back and forth with him if he wants to go back and forth, because here's the thing. They might have – let me rephrase that. They're playing really good right now.
Yeah, they are.
So they might beat us because they're pretty good, and they have a better supporting cast. But when you're going player for player, Ant-Man is not even close to SGA. Not even close. So I don't want to hear him talking noise.
Well, he said he's gonna bust up SGA is what he said. You saw what he said on the air. I sent you the message. He said he's gonna bust it.
Yeah, let me tell you who's gonna bust up SGA. That's gonna be Jaden McDaniels. That's gonna be Nikhil Alexander Walker. He ain't gonna touch it, and he's gonna get. First of all, Ant-Man last year wins as the team leader, right?
Yeah.
This year, 47 wins. What did SGA do in those 2 years? 57, 68. Okay, there we go. What about shooting percentage? Ant-Man, 42% this year, 91st in the league. SGA, over 51.5, 21st in the league as a guard.
I know, but Ant-Man led the league. He led the league in 3-point. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, he led the league in 3-point attempts, 10.4.
I think he led him in makes. I think he led the league in makes. He led the league in makes.
Because he took 10 a game.
Yeah.
That's why.
I agree. I'm not arguing with you.
Because he took 10 a game. SGA only took like 5, man.
Right.
Anyway, Ant-Man is a great player.
100%. He's a beast.
And it gives him an edge that he talks crap. I mean, that's just who he is, right?
Yes.
But don't ever try to compare him to SGA because he's not there. Now, he might be one day. He's only 23,
right.
22 or whatever he is.
Well,
but right now, There's a reason SGA is an MVP talk and not him. I'm just saying.
Well, there's a reason why SGA should be given the MVP already. And by the way, on our show, some people thought we're talking about, the one of many you've missed after the storm. I couldn't resist that one.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
Somebody was saying that they believe that if Jokic would have won the MVP, they were going to give Jokic the MVP this week. And if SGA won, then they're giving SGA.
Jokic would have won the MVP.
If
Let me
Denver
say
beat
this,
us in Game 7.
And they said it on the air the other day. No, that still wouldn't matter. SGA still was the MVP this year.
I don't know how he's not.
Here's the thing. Jokic, if you say best player in the league right now,
It's Jokic.
I'm gonna side with probably Jokic, right?
Yes, he's the best player in
But
the league, yes.
this year's MVP, dude, what SGA did this year? Are you kidding me?
No, I agree.
Again, we go back to it all the time. 3 people in history done 50, 50.
No,
2.5 blocks
30, 50.
Average 30 points.
30, 50 steals and blocks. Only
Yeah,
3
30,
people.
50,
Only 3 people have done it,
That's right.
and only one person's done it
Curry,
more. And now,
Michael Jordan.
and
That's
Shea.
3rd year in a row, man. 3rd year in a row to do that.
Yeah, I listen.
Yeah,
He and
3rd year in a
Jordan, he and the Jordan are the only ones that ever do it more than once. Listen, Nathan, I'm with you. I'm not. To me, I thought SJ should have won it last year, and I've said many times, had he played against the Celtics and the Sixers and the Pacers last year, in those 4 pivotal games that were on ESPN and for everybody to get to see us play, he would have won the MVP because nobody saw him play. Nobody saw us play last year. So I'm giving him that, 100%. But this year, I'm sorry, 50, 40, 30, 20s, he led the league, tied Kevin Durant for the most ever. And by the way, Ant-Man said, he goes, yeah, I killed your GOAT. I'm like, he's the GOAT of Oklahoma Thunder. Kevin Durant is the GOAT of Oklahoma Thunder. He ain't my GOAT, but he's the best player in the history of Oklahoma, of the Thunder. Not even close. He's the best. He is the GOAT of Oklahoma City Thunder. There's no question. Now, these Thunder fans can be mad.
I've asked you this. I think I've asked you this. Even if SGA, say SGA wins 2 titles for the city, wins a couple MVPs, you still think Kevin Durant's the best player, don't you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Kevin Durant's going to be a top 10 player of all time, without question. Yeah. No. This is the deal. I'm going to say.
let me say it this way then. Kevin Durant would have been the best player to come through Oklahoma City. Agreed 100%.
Yes.
The best player for Oklahoma City would be SGA. The player that's done the most for the Thunder
Okay. Now I'll go with that. My deal is this: SGA is not even going to sniff a top 10 player of all time. Okay. Remember, Kevin Durant led the league. SGA is not a top 10 player of all time. He's just not. Okay, he's not.
Would you give him top 20?
When he's done, I'll give him top 25, top 25, top 20 possibly. But you got to remember, I saw George Gervin. I saw Dr. J. I've seen a lot of guys, man.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of guys.
Oscar Robertson, man.
Oscar Robertson. I mean, I've seen a lot of guys, man. Yeah. So you're not just gonna jump into my top 20 just because now in today's era he's in the top 10.
Here's the thing. I don't disagree with you on Kevin Durant. I just think, my mind might change if I would have seen all the guys that you have seen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe it wouldn't. I don't know. But
if
I would have seen Wilt play, if I would have seen Kareem play, man, those guys are good.
They were just dominant, man. Dominant. But now, I said, this. Go ahead, Nathan.
Wilt could go out and say, hey, I'm going to lead the league in assists this year, and he'd win by a wide margin.
And he did.
Hey, I'm going to go lead the league in scoring, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And don't forget about his 10,000 women either.
Yeah.
That's a pretty impressive stat.
That's it's not hard. That's easy. That's an easy number to believe. People think it's a lot. It's not. It's not really that many, bro. I mean, it's not hard to get there.
Not for him.
But it's not hard to get there. It's not hard to get there, bro. It really isn't hard to get there. You gotta figure this. No, Nathan, this is
who you are, man.
This is like I tell people.
Who you are.
No, this is like I tell people. How many days of the year are there?
365, man.
Okay. So, of 365 days a year, you're going to sleep as an athlete and who he is, say from 18 years old till 30. Okay, 12 years. Let's just do 10 years just to make it easy, okay? Over a 10-year period,
Okay.
you're going to sleep with at least being an athlete, at least 300 women a year. At least. Okay. Now, of those
yeah, but that's still a...
No, but Nathan, okay, but that's 3,000.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, that's 3,000. What's up,
All right.
Rogelio, by the way? Okay, that's 10,000.
Well, hold on.
That's 3,000.
For 10 years, it's...
That's 300 a
10
year.
Right? Okay, yeah, no, okay. Okay, I got you. I'm with
Yeah, I'm just doing a 10-year period. Okay, that's 3,000. Now you got to realize of those 300 days, you're going to have multiple days that there's going to be more than one. Okay? So
I can't even believe we're debating this.
I know, but I'm just saying. No, I'm not. We're not debating it. I'm just trying to give you how that number is, how he's arrived to that number.
I mean, it's disgusting.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got to add at least.
I get you.
See what I'm saying?
I
So
get
it's not really hard to come up with that number. It really isn't. It's just not.
We'll say what, 450 a year? 450 a year?
You probably four. I would say probably 450 a year, easy. Yeah, easy. Easy.
All right,
Yeah.
So that's 20 years, basically,
Yeah.
almost. A
Yeah.
little bit over.
Yeah. So it's not. It's. You got to remember. You got to remember.
That'd be a rough life, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
man?
you got to remember. Some players were doing 5 and 6 at a time. So it's not.
Oh my God.
It's not. It's, and I can tell you that's too many. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you that's.
I wonder why you can tell me that.
It's hard to focus. It's hard to focus. That's all I'm saying. Now, getting back to the game.
I still want to know why you can tell me that. Why would you tell me that?
I don't know. What are these chips I have? I need to look at these ball markers. Rogelio says.
Yeah, avoidance. That's key right there. Avoidance.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, Rogelio says, I understand the Wolves are in the Western Conference Finals. They got past the Warriors with a lot of help. No Steph. The whole series looked different until he went out. That's true. They have no offensive weapons, and we're going to win. The Warriors were going to win.
Well, let's not forget they played. Who did they beat in the first round? Did they beat
Who?
with the Lakers, right? It was the Lakers,
Who are
right?
you talking about, the Wolves?
The Wolves?
Yeah, they beat the Lakers. Yeah, they beat the
Did they
Lakers.
beat the Lakers in 5 or 6?
Yeah. Well, this
That's
is my
pretty
thing.
good,
Okay.
right?
Let's go over last night, then we'll talk about the Wolves. Okay, last night. Can I say something? Alex Caruso.
Right ahead. Oh my God, dude. Love that guy.
Love that guy. You have to tip your hat to Sam Presti for Hartenstein and and Caruso. For us to give up Josh, who, if we had him and you're trying to press us and you're trying to trap us and put in the zone against us with Josh Giddey, that wouldn't work. Nobody could zone us with Josh.
Look,
That was not happening. We're gonna kill you. Okay? We don't have a Josh, but we have a Caruso. And that combination of Caruso and Casey, along with Wiggins, and then you got Dort. But when you add
on Jamal Murray.
dude, they are relentless. And then the guys I'm talking about on the ESPN or ABC, their ABC guys said Mike Breen is better than that. The hell you talking about? I'm glad Richard Jefferson had to clarify to him or something. That ain't a foul, man. What you talking about? It's playoffs. The hell you talking about? It's not a foul.
Oh my God, dude.
Dude, we had quick hands, and the whole thing was as soon as he reached, we got him. You put the ball out there, we got it. We're reaching. They're reaching too. You have to execute your half-court offense in order to maintain and win in the playoffs, period. And this is what I tell people. This is what it's like when I played. This is what it was. The difference also, this is the biggest difference. Mm-hmm. The biggest difference, when you went down the lane, you got your head taken off. You can't do that no more. All this flopping and all the nonsense that they do now, you can't do that. It's pathetic. But my deal is this. The Wolves are our stiffest competition. The only reason that it was a game 7 is
I
because
agree with you.
Dagnall gave
I agree
them
with you.
gave Nuggets game 1. This would be over. But like I said, I wasn't unhappy that we were playing multiple games because why? That layoff that SGA took, it was ridiculous. He took 12 days off, 13 days off, and then played 4 games and took another 7 days off. So he played, 4 games in 21 days or something crazy? It took him a while to get back into the groove.
Not good.
And from game 5, he was 1 for 6, Nathan. And from that point to the end of game 6, he was 22 of 33. 22 of 33 from that point.
Oh.
And then yesterday, what was he, 11 for 16, 17 or something?
I think it was 13 for he was 13 for 19, I think.
Yeah, something crazy. So, yeah, so you're looking at what his numbers are since going.
Let me also tip my hat to J-Dub yesterday, man. He played real well. Real well.
Okay, also, Rogelio said, I have to agree with the person on the phone. If SJ wins a chip for the K, he could maybe be win multiple chips. I'll put him over KD. That's what Rogelio says. And this is
again, all time, no.
But what you're saying is for Oklahoma City, that's what you're saying. You're saying for Oklahoma City, not the best player on the team.
Here's the thing that really bothers me about Kevin Durant, and I know he's a good player. I agree with you 100%. But the thing that bothers me about Kevin Durant is, and it's not just because I'm a Thunder fan. Yeah, it helps that I'm a Thunder fan, but it's not just because I'm a Thunder fan. The only 2 titles he's got, man, he had to go play with a super team to get them. Now, he was the best player on that team. We both agree on that. But still.
Okay.
So, and LeBron, he's done the same thing.
LeBron started it. LeBron started
it. We can admit that.
LeBron started it.
Yes, he did.
He started it.
Yes, he did.
Started going some things.
That's what I don't
like about
Steph's titles are now the ones with KD. Obviously, that's a little different. But Steph's titles, that team was drafted.
Yeah. Well, but you remember though, Steph won pre and post KD.
That's different.
But Steph won pre and post KD.
Yeah, he did.
So that's the difference.
That's why I have more respect for those titles than I do KD.
Yeah. Oh.
A title's a title regardless.
Well, I'm gonna say this: KD should have 3, but he got hurt. But anyway, all I'm saying is, and I agree with you, and I agree with your premise of that for Oklahoma City. But this is also Sam Presti learned from his mistakes the first time around. If he had constructed that team the way that he drafted this team, that team would have won multiple chips, without question. Okay,
yeah, sure.
So
here's another thing.
Yeah.
Here's another thing about that conversation.
Yeah.
Let me put the thing. I'm about to have to get off here. But,
Okay.
So if KD would have stayed in Oklahoma City, and again, this is not having to me doing with a Thunder fan. It's not because I'm a Thunder fan. It's because this is the way I look at it. If KD would have stayed in Oklahoma City, and I don't think he'd have won a title with Russ, but with him and James, it was possible.
Yes.
If he would have won a title in Oklahoma City, I would have thought more about winning 1 title in Oklahoma City than I would if he'd have won 3 in Golden State. That's just my opinion.
I agree. I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that. But my thing is this. Let's talk about us. Our Thunder team. We the way that this team is constructed, and we talked about this before the playoffs. We are constructed to play physical defense. And this is what happened yesterday. The defense is what happened. J-Dub, most of his shots were layups and dunks. Okay, in transition. His offensive game wasn't over. But this is the thing. When SJ starts rolling the way he is, and since he's been rolling in end of game 4 and game 5, and game 6 he was by himself. He had no help except Caruso. It was him and Caruso. It's been him and Caruso. It's been him, Caruso, games 3, games 4, games 5. Those 3 games, it was him and Caruso only. That was it. And game 6, J-Dub came up and showed up, and Kaysen is just getting better. But Kaysen, like we talked about, Kaysen went up. He had an upward transition until J-Dub came back. When J-Dub went out, Kaysen went through the roof. He really did. But the thing that I love about, huh?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did. And then when J Dub
Yes,
came
he
back,
did.
it took him a while to try to figure out, okay, where do I fit in now? Because I used to be over here, so now I'm back over here where I was before I was over there. So where do I fit in? So he's still trying to figure it out. But I'm gonna say this: defense travels.
But you know what?
Defense
what
travels.
hadn't changed though?
What?
That defense. That's exactly what it is.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, defense
I
travels.
was gonna say the defense hadn't changed.
Right,
Regardless.
and that's what I said. Defense travels. And my thing is this: Wiggins has got to get back to playing defense and not worrying about scoring. And the worst thing that happened to him was Dagnop letting him believe he was a scorer. Dude, just let him play great defense and shoot threes. I don't want you trying to take it to the basket. If a ball comes out of the rim, catch and dunk or finish up at the rim, yes. Don't try to take people off the dribble. All of that nonsense.
No.
Next thing, we figured out the zone by doing what? Attacking it, not catching, shooting
Breaking it down
threes.
and shooting?
Attacking, hitting the baseline cutters,
Right,
going up
breaking
and
it down.
alley oops. That's what you attack the zone. You don't shoot threes. Now, if you're in a rhythm and you're knocking down threes, yeah, you're going to kill a zone. But you can't shoot 14 straight times or 15 straight threes, which is what beat us against Minnesota. And this is my thing with that. With us in Minnesota, everybody forgets we pretty much beat them up except for that last game. It should have been 3-1, not 2-2. We were up 20. The commander and Kimberly left and went to go to Flips to eat at the end of the third quarter. And so Jennifer and I moved over into their seats. And all of a sudden we just watched that lead just dwindle and dwindle and dwindle. Then they bring SGA back, comes in. He scores immediately. And then they go, we're going to zone and we're going to box and want him. And then we shot three after three after three after three. I think we shoot 14 or 15, 16 straight threes. It was 0 for that. And I let them get back in the game.
Well, see, that's on
The coach.
That's on Dagnall, too, to not have the right personnel.
No, and we did that in game 6. But Nathan, we did that in game 6 too of this series. You put that in there. So what did they do? Came out in the zone.
I think.
Go ahead.
Hey, I got to get off here, Matt. I'm sorry, man.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, go
I'll
ahead.
catch you maybe either tomorrow or the next.
Okay. All right, sounds good. All right, brother. This is my guy Nathan Taylor of YNB. Glad to hear from him. He hasn't been on in a while. He's been a little busy. But anyway, to me yesterday, what ended up happening? It was 20. It was 20, 21-11, 21-10. I think it was 21-10, and then he brought in the lineup. He took J-Dub out, which I've asked him to do. And you had Kaysen, Caruso. You had SGA, Kaysen, Caruso, Wiggins, and Ihart. And what'd you do? You made a run. Then you brought Chet in there, made another run, and got back in the game. And then it was over with after that. Why? Because he puts the right lineup. J-Dub is playing great. He's a fantastic player. But you got to play the right lineups together. Take him out in the first quarter. Take him out in the third quarter with about 4 to 5 minutes to go. Let him sit the whole time. Kaysen, Caruso, Wiggins, and Ihart, and then bring in Chet. Close that out. Second quarter, do whatever. Then you bring J-Dub, SGA in at the 7-minute mark, whatever it is, 6:20, whatever that mark is when the timeout is, and you bring J-Dub out, and you sit him for 3 to 4 minutes. If he will do that, we will win. But if he continues to play J-Dub the whole quarter and all of that, because he's developing him for the future. The Thunder are 100% developing for the future. 100%. They're believe, to me, the more I see it, you're developing J-Dub to be the man. He's not a number one. He's just not. He's not. You have a number one. He is a great Robin. Everybody sees that, but the Thunder organization, including the coaches and management, 100%. Because this is the thing what happened to the Celtics, what happened to the Golden State Warriors. At some point, you can't pay all of these guys max money. Why? Because there's only so many dollars out there. And you're going to give Chet and J-Dub the max, which I don't have any problem with, but I mean, let's build for the future. Let's maybe not give them the full max. Let's get them close to the max. SGA is going to get the super max because he wants his $400 million. He wants to be the first $400 million. And I'm sorry, if you're 4 years in a row first team All-NBA, I have zero problem with that. We're winning because of him. Give him his money. Give him his accolades. Okay? So that being said, You still got to pay Kaysen, which he's not even close to being a max guy, but you're going to give him a nice salary. Then you keep drafting the guys the way you're drafting. You can build around that because we have so many picks. Topic is, remember, this is going to be his second year next year. In his third year is the same year you're going to have to, let me see, next year you pay J-Dub a year early and Chad a year early. This summer, I'm sorry. Next year you pay Kaysen a year early. Okay? Then the next year you pay Topic a year early and you got to pay SGA. And then Kaysen's contract will kick in and Chet and J-Dub's contracts will kick in. And then you have SGA the next year at 70 whatever million it is that we're going to have to pay him. So I understand what he's doing because he's like, we're going to get stuck, But my thing is this. You keep SGA. And we talked about this yesterday. See, really what Jello says. Caruso was a big part of the win against Memphis. Against JJ, yes, and now Jokic. I agree. I see him being a great part. A great part in stopping Randall. Yeah, well, they're going to be bouncing back and forth on Ant-Man. I think that Randall is going to be more of J-Dub's deal. That's what I think. You're going to have J-Dub on Randall more than anything because they're both athletic, and so I think you're going to see more of that, but you are going to switch out. But I think when you have that group in there, Dort's going to start on Ant-Man, and that's going to be the physicality. Then you have Caruso going to be on Ant-Man. Caruso will be on Randall. Caruso will be on I don't know if he can deal with Naj Reid because Naj Reid, they know Caruso knows how to battle. So I think that's going to be a big part of what they got going on right there, Rogelio. But that being said, we know how to handle them. They came back, and before Nathan went off, my point I was making is we should have been up 3-1 on them. And because of what they were doing, they got back in. So now they're under the impression that they now think they can play with us. Versus if we beat them by 20 that last game and completely demolished them, they don't have any answers. Everybody thinks the answer is what? They were the first team to start doubling us or putting us in a zone and then going to SGA in a box and one. They were the first team to start doing that. So now Denver did a great job of that. Well, here's the issue. If you put the right person at the free throw line and let that person attack the zone, then they're in trouble. But if we're sitting out there not shooting threes and not making them, the zone works. But once you start attacking the zone, what did Denver have to do? They had to come out the zone because it wasn't working because we were doing the backdoor cuts and the lobs. So what happens? You got to come out of that. Then we start making some threes. Then they're screwed. Now you got to go back to man-to-man because the zone is not working. Then SGA goes to work on you at that point because what do? You do the zone to get SGA to where you just limit what he can do. He can't really attack the zone. He can if he wants to, but it takes so much energy to break the double team. I teach my kids how to break the double team in training. So they know how to break the double team. So does SGA. You can go over the top. You can spin move. You can go in between the legs. There's several ways you can fake a move and cross over. There's different ways that you can go over the top or break the double team. There's multiple different ways. Now, Kobe had the sweetest move, which he'd come and there's a guy here and a guy here. And Kobe would fake to this guy and act like he's going to spin, and the second guy's right here, and he just split the ball. He put the ball between his legs backwards and then slide between them. That's how Kobe broke it. Okay, so there's multiple ways to split the double team you can do, but it takes a lot of energy, and you have to attack it. So you got to be kind of going 3/4 speed in order to do that, and it takes a lot of energy, and SGA doesn't really want to do that until late in the fourth quarter, but see, if he still does that, then that still takes energy. So we need everybody else to do it and for him to do it once or twice instead of multiple times in a row to pull them out. Okay, does that make sense? Now, that being said, when you look at what the Thunder did yesterday, okay, let's pull this up so we can see this real quick. When you look at what they did yesterday and what we're capable of doing, okay, this is what we did yesterday. They shot 10 for 45 from three. We shot 12 of 39. Only took 39 threes. I told you that's about the number that I like. 35 to 39, that's all I want. 37, 38 is a perfect number for me for us to shoot threes. We shot 49%. They shot 39. They out-rebounded us by 3. They did have 15 offensive rebounds, but the offensive rebounds they had yesterday were much more, game 6, were much more taxing or hurt us more than the offensive rebounds they had yesterday, because the offensive rebounds they had yesterday were long rebounds, not rebounds underneath the basket because we couldn't grab the damn ball, which were early in the game with Aaron Gordon killing us on the boards early. Points in the paint, pips, that's my stat, 64-42, much better on that. And then, of course, what killed them, 22 turnovers. They did have 27 bench points, but you got to remember a lot of that was in scrub time, so we don't really count that now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't mean that bad, but we don't really count that as far as we're concerned. And then game stats. Here's the difference between Game 7 and Game 6. Remember in Game 6 how many minuses we had? How many guys had minuses instead of pluses? Almost a whole starting five had minuses, okay? And then when you look at Game 7, here's the difference, and it started on the defensive side of the basketball, getting turnovers. 37 points in transition, or points off turnovers. 37. 37, and I think they said was that the most since 1996 or something crazy back when, would have had to do with who? The Bulls. Chet, 13 points, 11 rebounds, a nice double-double. Still, he's really hasn't. We've noticed Chet, but did you really notice Chet? We haven't really noticed Chet, to be honest. J-Dub, 24 points. He played magnificent. 10 for 17, 5 rebounds, 7 assists. I thought he played really good. Really good. Ihart, in 17 minutes, 10 points, 7 rebounds. And I think with Caruso, which was a brilliant move by Coach Dagnall, to put him on there. Just it frustrated him so much because of the way Caruso was playing him. And then as soon as he got the ball out anywhere near the lane, we immediately doubled. And then once they kicked it back out, we would hit that guy, which forces the pass across to the opposite side of the court, which then all of a sudden made Jokic a non-factor. Then they bring him out to the top of the key, and that didn't help because between Caruso and when J-Dub got a steal off of him too, it made it a lot harder. And then once we started rolling and we started scoring, I just think they realized, it's over. And as a player, you feel that shift. When the game's over. When it's over. SGA, 35 points. Now remember, SGA has had 5 of the 7 games he had 30-plus points. 5 of the 7 games he had 30-plus points. But it's only been the last 3 games where you could really see him rolling. So remember, he was 22 of 33. I can't remember Game 5. Like I said, he was 1 for 6, and then after going 1 for 6, he was 22 of 33. So going into yesterday's game, he was 22 of 33. So now he's 34 of 33, 42. 34 of 42. That's what SJ is. 34 of 42. That's what he ended after going 1 for 6 in Game 5. 34 of 42. That's insane. But like I said, I wanted us to keep playing so that we'd be ready by the time we got back in the groove. Then he got back his groove on. You can see it. This guy's 34 of 42. That's insane. 8 for 9 from free throw line. He's got to get that back up. 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. He's doing what he does, multiple steals and 1 block. Like I said, only other person who's done it more than him is Michael Jordan, which is insane. It's just crazy. And by the way, it was Dwayne Wade, not Steph, with the block, with the 2 steals and blocks. It was Michael Jordan, SGA, and Dwayne Wade were the only 3 to do that, not him. Lou Dort, 17 minutes, 2 for 7, 6 points. And, the whole thing is that with Caruso playing so well, and then with Case and Wallace playing so well, you really didn't need Dort. Which, I don't know if that's good or bad, but we just didn't need him. And plus, on the other side, if he's not scoring, 2 for 7, 1 for 5, and then he was trying to go to the basket and do some stuff. We don't need that. And when he started doing that, the coach pulled him out and didn't play him again. And that's what you got to do. You got to go, hey, man, understand the room. You hit open threes. Don't try to drive to the basket. Don't try to create plays. Just make plays. You're not a playmaker. You're a guy who makes plays. Jay Will, I thought that was a great move by not playing Jay Will because they were preparing for that. And by us not playing him and putting Caruso starting in the third quarter, that completely changed the outcome of the game. Great strategy by the Thunder. I thought it was a magnificent move, and it made all of the difference. Caruso, 26 minutes, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. He didn't get any rebounds, 3 steals. He had 3 huge steals, 5 for 7, 1 for 3. I thought he played great. Let me see. J-Dub really stepped up. I'm glad he kind of figured the zone. Did you see how he faked the 3 and attacked the basket? Yes, I did. I saw that, Rogelio. Talking about J-Dub. I thought he did really good not selling for the 3. You don't have just the 3 is there. You can pull up and shoot a mid-range. You don't have to shoot a 3 because it's there. Just pull up and get your dribble, get in rhythm, knock down the mid-range. It still works. Still works. Isaiah Joe, 4 minutes. He'll play a lot more against Minnesota. He just this was a bad matchup. Every time he was on the floor with Jokic, they backed him down low. Bad matchup for Isaiah Joe. Have no problem. He was 1 for 1 against the Scrubs, but this just wasn't a series for him to play, which is okay. He'll play well. He'll play a lot more against Minnesota, and then of course make it into the finals against either of those other 2 teams. He can play. Aaron Wiggins, 19 minutes, 8 points. I thought Aaron did okay. 3 for 11, 2 for 3. Dude, I'm sorry, 2 for 8. My bad. He's got to knock down threes. He's got to get into the point where I'm catching threes and shooting them. I don't need to be trying to do all this other stuff, trying to take people off the bat. Dude, just catch and shoot. I don't mind you catching and shooting. I really, really don't. Just get back to what you were doing before that made us good. Kaysen, 29 minutes. He was just magnificent. 7 points, 3 for 10, 1 for 6. But he played magnificent. 3 rebounds, 5 assists. I thought he played plus 38. He played great for a guy only having 7 points. He played great. He really did. So glad we have him. He's just a beast. The more I see him, the more I like him. Take this opportunity to thank our sponsors, SRB. If you have needs for if you have needs for a water treatment plant in your city or you're building a new complex, hit these guys up. They'd love to take care of you and make sure things run smoothly for you as you're building something or you need your water treatment plant in your city or county taken care of. They can do that. Oak Grove Trucking, if you have needs for dirt, rock, or sand to be moved, hit my guy up. He is the dude to take care of you. YNB, family owned and operated since 1912. They are the bank that makes things happen. They're an equal housing lender, a member of the FDIC, proud sponsor for us to go out and support women, minority, and black-owned businesses in the OKC area, which will be at George's tomorrow. You can pre-qualify online at www.ynbok.com. That's www.ynbok.com. Or you can go into one of their 5 locations. The main bank at 401 Elm, 66 steps from historic downtown Yukon, Oklahoma. YNB East, which is out the Parkway and 66 at 39th Expressway. YNB Mustang, 218 North Mustang Road. YNB Parkway, which is off Garth Brooks and I-40, just south of I-40, right there on Garth Brooks, right in front of the hospital. You cannot miss it. YNB Peoples, located in Bethany on 23rd between Rockwell and MacArthur. Great place. It's the one I always go to because it's easy for me to get to, just taking 39th Expressway. Exit right there, come on over to 23rd, go right there to the bank and leave. So it's a little bit closer to go to the other one. Unless, of course, the Commanders buying me lunch at Yukon because they've got several different places to go eat lunch in Yukon that I do like going to, by the way. And then, of course, the House of Creed, handcrafted since 1760. Man, it's a good smell of stuff. Boy, it's really good. If you smell it, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, you can go into the Penn Square location, the Dillard's, ask for Beth. Now, we will be there this Thursday. So if you guys want to come by and get on air or do anything like that, we'll be there Thursday at 2 o'clock. So if you want to come by, check things out, come on. We'll be there. Woodland Hills Mall in Tulsa, Town East Mall in Wichita, Kansas, Ark Park Mall, that's Overland Park, Kansas, not Missouri. And I'm going to fix that, Calvin, so don't get on my case about it. Park Plaza Mall in Little Rock, South Plains Mall, Lubbock, and Whitegate Mall in Amarillo, Texas. And like they always say, Matt, remember, pick the best for your best. I 100% agree. So if you're a female and you've got a guy that's your significant other, hey, get you some stuff with your perfume. Go in there and get in some stuff. I promise you. And just remember, if you say that Matt Clark sent you, that you will get free samples. So get you some. They'll give you some, but they'll give you a couple samples based on where we recommended you come. You can get a couple samples. So hit those guys up. Come on by. See my girl Beth. They'll take care of you. I promise it's worth it. So let's look at, because I know we have the early. This is crazy. I did this kind of last night. So they have the early um, odds, if you will, for the games. Okay, our game is tomorrow night, 7:30 on ESPN. We're 7.5 point favorites. Over under is 213 and a half. And 7.5 points, I was like, man, that's a lot. But at the same time, it's us playing at home. It's us coming off a large win. It's our youth. It's our young guys getting more and more experience. It's us getting back into our groove where we play great defense and we are at home. And these guys are now starting to understand what it's like to be in our arena and what that means and what the fans mean. And like I said, you have to go to one game. I mean, it is so loud in there, and I'm so sorry that I missed yesterday. I'm so pissed about it. Couldn't find anybody to work for me, and so I could not go, and I'm upset. But I'm definitely looking forward to going tomorrow for game one, and then Thursday for game two. Because I'm just going to tell you, there's nothing like the atmosphere. And it's like when I'm sitting there and I'm taking my notes so we can do the After the Storm show, the post-game analysis. It's so crazy. It really, truly is crazy doing it. And it's awesome. It really is awesome. And so I'm looking forward to it. But 7.5 points, I think that's about right. I think that us coming out and doing the things we're going to do, and everybody now getting used to playing. So now it's just back to playing basketball. Yeah, it's playoffs, but it's back to playing basketball now. Now you're back to playing ball. That's all it is. And our young guys, and the only young guy we really have is Kaysen. This is his second year. This is Chet's third year. Well, Chet's second year, so it's him and Chet. J-Dub's third year. This is SJ's fifth year. It's Dort's fifth year. It's Wiggins' fourth or fifth year. It is J was second year. iHeart and what's iHeart's eighth year, ninth year. It's Caruso's seventh, eighth, or ninth year. So we really don't have young guys hardly anymore. We only have a couple. Okay, we only have a couple, and really that play of the top five. SGA, he's not. He's been balling. J-Dub, he's starting to get there, but it's still his only. Remember, it's only his second year. Chet, this is only his second year really playing. This is J-Dub's. Well, this is what is J-Dub's third year. This is J-Dub's third year. Chet's second year actually playing. But J-Dub, remember, the second year in the playoffs. Dort, no, because Dort's been playing with SGA as long as SGA has. Then you've got iHeart. iHeart has been playing for the Knicks, so he understands what playoff basketball is. He understands what you have to do. He gets it, and he's been in the league long enough. Then you go to the bench. Caruso's been around forever, so he knows what doing. Already, of course, has a ring with the Lakers. Then after that, what do you have? Kaysen. This is Kaysen's second year, and you can see his struggles up and down. But what he doesn't struggle with is defense. Wiggins, this is his fifth year. He's still getting there, but what doesn't he struggle with? Defense. What does an iHeart struggle with? Defense. What does Chet not struggle? Well, Chet struggles a little bit defense because he is thin and he doesn't quite have his legs in and out. Dort, what does he not struggle with? Defense. What does Caruso not struggle with? Defense. What does Kaysen not struggle with? Defense. What does J-Dub? J-Dub struggles a little bit, but for the most part, he doesn't struggle there. SJ doesn't struggle there. Because of the way that our defense and the way it's set up, we move so well guarding the paint, but yet getting out the shooters, closing shooters out, getting our hands on them, and making them knock down shots. Now, that's been a difference in what we come. Now, our problem with the T-Wolves is, number one, they're long, they're athletic, they're physical on defensive side of the basketball, just like we are. They're longer than we are because you've got McDaniel, you've got Nickeil Alexander-Walker. You get SGA's cousin. And then you've got Naj Reid, who just murders us every time he sees us. And then, of course, you got the big Frenchman in the middle, Gobert. And then you've got Conley. No, not so much on defense. DiVincenzo kind of on defense. Randall on defense. And then, of course, Ant-Man can play defense. So that's who they have going against our deal, okay? So offensively, Ant-Man, he's a beast. Defensively, yes. You got DiVincenzo. Defensively, he's okay. But if he's knocking down threes, that makes his defense even more crucial. Conley, he's just your general. He's going to run the floor. He's going to run the offense, run the offense. And if he's not knocking down shots, he's a liability more or less on defense, especially now that he's getting older. Randall, he's gotten into a groove with this team, understanding what his positions are. So that makes a difference right there. But defensively, he's decent. He can play some defense. It's okay. He's not great, but he's okay defensively. And then you've got Walker, who is just an absolute monster on the defensive end. McDaniel, an absolute monster on the defensive end. They're both sometimey on offense. They do have their moments, but it's not like they're consistently going to kill you. They're more like a Wiggins or a Kaysen. Consistently, they're not going to beat you up on a consistent basis, but they are capable once they get hot. And then Gobert is just a big monster in the middle. He does what he does, and there's not a lot you can do with it. So that being said, I think we remember what they did to us that last game at home by coming back when we should have spanked them. We haven't forgot that. They haven't forgot that. They have the confidence they can come back on us even being down 20 in the fourth quarter. We know that was an anomaly, and we're not there. We want to let them know, yeah, that was an anomaly. That ain't how things really are. So that's what you've got to come back and you've got to come at and come looking at it towards, okay? And then, of course, Ant-Man last night coming on my show, or Anthony Edwards did. I'm assuming, I don't know if it is or not, but he came on my show last night. And he said how he's going to kill SGA, number one. Number two, as he said, UFC, OKC, KFC, Wolves, and 5. Which is ridiculous. And then he said he already killed our GOAT, my GOAT. And he's talking about the Thunder GOAT and talking about Kevin Durant. I'm like, Kevin Durant's 37, bro. You really going to brag about how you beat up on Kevin Durant? He's 37, you're 23. Really? At 23, Kevin Durant would eat you alive. So that being said, 7.5 is about right. I think that Game 7 should help our younger players, our players at home, do what they need to do. Plus, we need to punch them in the mouth and let them know that what happened the last time they came here was an anomaly. It wasn't something that's consistent. And that's what has to be done, because I believe we can beat them in 5, 6 games. Now, do I think it'll probably go 7? Yes. But do I think we can get them done and we can win 2 games at home or 3 games at home and get 1 on the road there? I sure as hell do. I believe we can get 2 games at home and get 1. I do believe that with all my mind that we can win 2 games. Win our 2 games at home, we can get 1. That's my guy, Jose. This is what I'm talking about right now, Jose, is how many games I think we can go. I think we can win our first 2 at home. Then I think we can steal 1. So all we got to do is win first 3 home games. And I think we can get 1 there. I think we can get 1 there. I really think we can get 1 there. That's why I said it'd be 5 or 6. Now, it could go 7 if Dagnall doesn't do what he needs to do. It's possible. But I'm looking at it, we could do 5 and get done in 5. But I think it'll probably be more like 6. That's just kind of how I believe. Pacers and the Knicks, when you look at this game, the Knicks are playing really well. But, hey, Halliburton, whatever that scenario is with the song about Hallie this or whatever. Tyrese Halliburton is one of my favorite players. I love Tyrese Halliburton. And I think all the crap about them saying all overrated, and when I saw how they had it broken down, I'm like, man, why you even print that story? 90 guys out of over 400 are the ones who commented on it, and 17 or 19 guys said he was overrated. Really? Why don't you ask the guys he played against? Ask the Knicks, the starting guys, they think he's overrated. Go ask Atlanta Hawks. Go ask Trae Young, do you think he's overrated? Go ask him. I can promise you they ain't going to say, go ask the Thunder players, do we think Tyrese Halliburton is overrated? That's stupid. It's idiotic. Pacers, Knicks 10.5-point favorites. I think that's a lot. I think the Pacers can go in there and get 1. That's what I believe. I think it's going to be close. And I would probably take the Knicks Wednesday night. And neither one, I don't think 200. I mean, them scoring 100 points in the Eastern Conference, I don't know. Whereas I think the Thunder, 213, I think that's going to get got. It's going to be a physical game, but what do you have to do in the playoffs? Number 1, you have to play physical defense. The physicality of the defense in the game is great. It's number 1. You got to deal with that. Number 2, you have to be efficient in your half-court sets. With SGA, I know we can do what we can do. When you look at Ant-Man, they can do what they can do in the half-court set. Plus, you got Mike Conley running the offense. Plus, you got the big monster inside, the big Frenchman inside. Then you got to turn around and Randall. He's playing well. You can do that. But to me, you don't let Randall punk you. You make him be a one-dimensional. Make him shoot threes. Don't let him push you down and take you down low. Make him shoot threes. And if you make him one-dimensional, then you're fine. And then Naz Reid is going to just kill us like he always does. I hope he doesn't, knock on wood. I hope he misses and he's not efficient like he normally is. Let's hope that. But let's do McDaniel and Alexander Walker. Let's hope that those two don't have big games because we can live with Ant. We can live with Randall. Okay? We can live with Nas. But we can't live with those three plus McDaniel plus Alexander Walker plus that's whoever you want to put in there, whichever one you want to put in there. Whichever one of those you want to stick in there, you can. But we can live without if we can limit them to two of their three guys going, and everybody else limit them and keep them from being a part of it. I think we'll be fine. Angel says, let me see. WOKC is anti-Lakers. They have depth and skilled big men. That's 100%. Angel, that's 100%. We've got skilled big men, but the thing is this: we have my guy Jose says if we can handle Jokic, we can definitely handle them. What's a different beast? They've got more athletes and their bench is deeper, and it's going to be a harder game. They've got more depth than Denver does. That's why I wanted to play Denver. Remember, it shouldn't have won 7 games. Okay, it should not have gone 7 games. And speaking of that, when Aaron Gordon talked about, the NBA needs to do every other week, every other day to make the quality of the game better, you weren't saying that 2 years ago when y'all won the title. Why are you saying that now? Because you got beat. You weren't saying that 2 years ago when y'all won when you got your ring on. You weren't running your mouth then. You weren't running your mouth last year. You weren't running your mouth 2 years before that. Now all of a sudden, the games will be better because y'all got beat. Quit crying. That's the problem with y'all. Y'all a bunch of little punks, little babies. Stop it. Why weren't you saying that when you won the chip 2 years ago? It still was every other night. Now you crying? Dude, you got beat, and you know your team is going to get split up. You know this. But y'all got beat. We're better than you. It's okay. You do get beat by teams better than you. What I hate is like we lost to Princeton. Princeton was not better than us. But they beat us. I give them their props. Gary Vick, I got to hear about his mouth still, however many years later. I still got to hear about how Princeton beat us. I still got to hear his mouth. That happens. You get beat by teams that are better than you. You get by teams that are not better than you. We got beat by Missouri Tigers. They were better than us. We got beat by Iowa State. They weren't better than us. Got beat by Nebraska. They weren't better than us. OU and us were the same, equals. We beat Michigan. We were better than them. There are teams we beat that we were better than, teams we lost to that we weren't. That's basketball. It's what you are on that date. That's what sports is. It's not how much better than you are 10 times over somebody. What were you that day? And granted, this should have been over, bro. Y'all got game 1. Y'all only beat us twice. You were gifted a game. You only beat us twice. And game 3, because SGA wasn't in form, because I can promise you, if he was in form and game 3 happened now like it was then, I mean, if he was playing now, like on the third game like he's rolling now, we would have beat y'all game 3. So stop the whining. You got beat. Step up. Be a man, bro. Quit crying. Sorry. Looking forward to the next series, which is Minnesota. And Anthony Edwards, please come back on the chat after the game. I know you won't because you're going to be too busy. And somebody was asking me about that, about Anthony Edwards coming on. I was like, dude, he's not going to be able because by the time we come on, he got to get in the shower. He's got to be on the news. He's got to, do all the reports. There's no way he's ever going to come on and talk to us again after games. Now, he might come on during the day or something if he possibly can. If it's not practice or whatever, that's possible. But for as far as the Thunder stuff is concerned, no, he's not going to come back on in our chat. And I'm glad he came in, and thank you, Anthony Edwards, for coming on. That's a blessing to us and a blessing to me, and I appreciate you listening to our show and being able to say the crazy stuff that you said. Well, it wasn't crazy. You think you're better than SGA, which you should think that. The UFC, KFC, OKC Wolves in 5, and that's what the Lakers said. They gone. Y'all beat them in 5? So that's nonsense. And the fact that you beat up on my GOAT of the Thunder, which is Kevin Durant, yes, you did. But like Rogelio said, like Nathan said, if SJ wins a couple of titles, he's going to be the best player for Oklahoma City. He's not the best player ever to play for the Thunder. That is Kevin Durant. And that's always going to be Kevin Durant because of who he was. He is the most efficient player, minimum shots I've ever seen. I've never seen anybody like him. They can average that much on that many points on that fewer shots. It's crazy. He's just efficient. At 7 foot, he's just efficient. It is what it is. And he's a beast. It's like he went to Golden State, and he was the best player on the best team. Russell Westbrook has never been the best player on a team until KD left. Then he was the best player on our team because he got rid of everybody until Paul George came. So that's how I put it, and that's why I look at it. So tomorrow, I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. Thunder, T-Wolves in OKC, 7:30 on ESPN. It's going to be fantastic. And like we said, Thunder, 7.5-point favorites, 213.5 is the over-under. And my guy Drew was on. I'm going to have to ask him about what he thinks about those odds. So now, bad weather coming in here in Oklahoma City. You guys stay safe, find your stay, get your dogs in, get your cats in, your animals in. The hail and stuff is coming again. So if that's bad and tornadoes, get your animals in, get them taken care of, get them safe. Okay? Take care of your animals because that's your job. They can't take care of them. I mean, they can, but it's up to you to make sure they're okay. Don't leave them out in the weather. Don't do that to them. That ain't fair. God didn't do that to you. Don't do it to your animals. So everybody have a fantastic day. Stay safe. Stay forewarned.